Hi everyone, my name is Mary Wilkinson and I am doing the Educational Giant project on E.D Hirsch Jr. So he was born, not a lot, I couldn't find a lot about his early life, but I did find out that he was born on March 22nd, 1928, to a prosperous Jewish cotton merchant, and he went to school, elementary school through high school in Illinois, where he graduated and then went to Cornell University and continued to earn a bachelor's degree in English. And following that, he went to earn a PhD at Yale University. So after he had received his PhD, he began working at Yale University. And he worked there for about a decade before another job offer came along that he wanted to accept. And the job offer that he accepted was to the University of Virginia, Charlottesville. So he went to the University of Virginia and he began to be the administrator over the writing and English department there. So while he was there, he began to notice issues going on with the department and the test scores coming in, and he was kind of disturbed by these. So he decided to take a closer look at them. And what he found was that oftentimes when a student came from a background where they had a lot of background knowledge about subjects, meaning they knew a lot about English and history, social studies, all of the arts. They had a good background with reading. They had just been taught really, really well throughout their schooling. They tended to do a lot better in his classes as well as the other professors. And he also noticed that those that came from culturally difficult backgrounds, with more difficult home lives, tended to do worse. So he decided to do a study to see if this was correct or not. And as he did the study, he took two groups. Again, one that had a lot of background knowledge about different subjects that were taught, and one that did not have a lot. And he concluded that it was actually, there was a really big difference in the two groups. And so he decided that he wanted to go and fix this and wanted to find out a way to make it so that education was equal, that no matter what background you came from or where you may live, you can get the same education as someone living in another place. So he began to look at different aspects of education, and he wrote a book called Cultural Literacy, and this book was very, very controversial. Um, in my opinion, the people and the teachers and educators did not like being told what they were doing wrong and that they needed to change. So he wrote this book, and it was all about how he stressed that at young ages, especially elementary school ages, it is very, very important to build a firm foundation for the students to stand on and to build further knowledge from. He discussed that without that firm knowledge and base, then they would not do as well in the future. So he published again these findings in other books that he wrote, and he eventually created an organization called Core Knowledge Foundation. And in this foundation, they basically stressed exactly what I have already said. They stressed that through all grade levels, there has to be building blocks that each student is able to receive. They stress and they give out curriculums that have everything to do with sequence, is what they call it, sequences. And basically, in each different grade that a student is in, they are given a specific curriculum that they should learn. Now, they can incorporate things that the state is wanting these students to learn, as well as what the school requires. However, this foundation, the Core Knowledge, has a very specific layout of what each grade level should be taught. and each grade level builds upon the last as well as prepares the students for the future. So the teachers don't skip around very much. They keep it orderly, and they help the students really gain a firm grasp on what they're trying to learn before moving on to the next subject, as well as giving them that secure base that they need in order to build on that. So he went through and he did this, and again, there was a lot of controversy, but some of his beliefs were that this really was important, and from the curriculums that he and his foundation wrote, they were all based on numerous tests and many different things that provided valid information and other valid theories that showing that the best way to help children and students be able to succeed in the future and in other settings and different school settings is to make sure that they have the adequate background knowledge, always making sure that they understand what was previously taught, and they're always building on that. So what this can do to influence, or what this did to influence us, is, in my opinion, it changed the way that educators taught and how schools work on their curriculums. They, from at least in my experience with schools, each grade level builds upon what we learned in the last grade level. There's not crazy information that's just out there taught for the most part. It's just, in this grade we learn, say, fractions and multiples and things like that, and in the next grade we learn how to work different situations with the fractions and multiples. And this is what essentially Hirsch was trying to get us to teach in schools. And it's really important because really without the students having a firm foundation and something to really build upon, they won't be able to succeed as well. So this has been a report on Eric Donald Hirsch, or E.D. Hirsch Jr., and I hope everything goes well.